Hi everybody, it's Carrie and welcome back to another video. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Carrie. I own Traveling Pony Studios, which is a small crochet business that I created a year ago to help pay for my horses' never-ending medical expenses. Over the past year, I have been able to grow my little small business into something, I guess, a little bit more full-time, if you want to say. But I do all types of video and content revolving around crocheting, the markets that I attend, and then, of course, nowadays, the stores as well. And hopefully in the future, there will be many more exciting projects coming. I'm just working out some details. But today's video is going to be basically going over everything that I just crocheted this past week. If you've never seen a what I crocheted in a week video, I'll just say it's a bit chaotic. So I run this business alongside one other person, and this is mainly just due to the quantity that I make and the fact that I am just so busy all the time and I can't do everything myself. And one of the things this other person helps with is sewing and assembling like some of the flowers and stuff. I do all of the crocheting, and when I do have time where I can sew, I'll handle it too. A lot of the small items or the items that don't require like really intricate sewing, I let somebody else just fasten them off, and then when it comes to like complicated things or custom orders, I always handle all of the sewing and everything so I can make sure it's like up to what I would like it to be. Because of that, sometimes things just get finished at different rates. So I'll have some items that you guys won't see technically, but they are done. They just technically haven't been finished off completely yet because they are a huge priority just due to everything else that I have like waiting to be put aside. So it's kind of at random, but I'll tell you guys the numbers if I know an item has more downstairs or somewhere else. Two items you guys won't see on camera will be a lavender cow because it's now completely sewn off, and a cherry blossom cow. I did crochet those two cows this past week. Let's start going over what's in this box. I did have quite a few items that I did have to drop off at a store. Not all of the items are with me currently, which seems to be a running theme. I would say I have been focusing a lot on redoing a lot of my small items. Just with my market coming up, I really want to make sure I get my base items back. So I've been focusing a lot on creating the small items again, and then adding in the medium to large sized items that I do need to recreate. And that's why you'll see like I'll make 6 small items, and then I might make 1 or 2 cows, and then I just recently had an order for roses, so that won't be in this video, but I did just complete an order of 6 roses, I believe. Things like that have taken up some time, so yeah, I've been doing the small things and then like adding in a big item like every day. But let's go over some of the beginning stuff. To kick it off, I have these 2 sharks, and I have 1 more downstairs, and I think to get back to my 4, I do still need to crochet 1 of them, but I did at least get technically 3 done. I will say this pattern has not sold at a market yet, I believe. I think the only time I have sold these guys have been in stores. Being in markets and also doing stores and everything, it is even harder to figure out what people like. I always say when people ask me, oh, what should I make for markets? I'm like, you honestly, I can't even tell you because it changes every time what people want. And that could not be any truer, especially when it applies to stores, because I'll have items that just like never sell at markets that fly off the shelves in stores. I don't understand. And then I like bring my best sellers to stores and like nobody buys them. So you never know what somebody's gonna like market to market or market to store. Like I stopped giving up trying to figure out people. But I do have technically 3 done, 1 still downstairs. I have 1 finished sloth, but I did complete 4 other sloths. But this is the one that I have that is finished. It's just one of these mini sloths, and I think I wanted to get, I think I'm either at 5 or 6 for the market. So right now I'm doing all right. This was a new item for my previous market that I did, and I don't think I've sold any at stores, but I did sell a couple at markets. So this might be more of an item that is preferred at markets. I honestly don't know, but I just have this little mini sloth. I have a single little rooster, and this is just continuing with restocking rooster, mallards, and chicks. It's kind of like a pattern that if I have white out and I pretty much know like how long these variations in this pattern takes me. So if I know I kind of have like 45 minutes and I don't want to start anything that's too complicated, I just go ahead and make one of these. So I think I'm like at 4 roosters now, but I still plan on making more, but I'm definitely happy with how these guys are turning out. I can't even tell you guys, like, actually, let me show you guys the difference. I've mentioned this in other videos. I feel like my crocheting, particularly in this pattern, is just so evident how much everything has changed in literally not that long. These are the newer mallards that I've been making. So I think I made this guy, what, like 2 weeks ago or something, a week ago. And this is the mallard that I had made in, it was like January, February. I sat down and I market prepped like so many mallards, chicks, and roosters. So this is this guy. So I'm going to show you guys the sheer size difference. Oh my gosh. Like, come on. This one is so upright and I don't really, like, it's not stuffed amazingly well versus this one is just cuter to me and it's stuffed, like, it's dense. I think when I was starting out, I was trying to skip on like stuffing and I didn't want to pay extra money, but yeah, look at that, guys. Oh heavens. I think when I was starting out, maybe I was like skimping a little bit more. I have no clue, or maybe I just didn't know how to stuff things properly, but my stuffing has changed so much. And I would say if you're starting out crocheting, particularly amigurumi, I don't hear people really ever mention stuffing, but I think one of the most important things you can do is learn how to stuff items, because I have found with my own personal work and then seeing other people's work that I think stuffing is honestly one of the things that makes like the biggest difference with crocheting. Like, I can tell when something's understuffed and I feel like it gives it a different shape. So maybe the yarn isn't the biggest thing that like deters me from certain things, but like I feel like the stuffing makes a huge difference. So if you're starting out with crocheting and doing like amigurumi, take your time, learn to stuff, don't skimp on the stuffing, because I have found the crochet items don't hold up as well when they're understuffed opposed to if they're stuffed really well. I have this single ladybug. So I think the original ladybug I did in the brighter red from Premiere, but this one I ended up having the darker red, which I don't really think it makes that big of a difference, but I just made one more ladybug. This was also a new thing for my previous market, and I think I sold the one that I brought. I think I only brought like one. Oh wait, actually I think I brought 2, so I think I sold one of them. So I just made that one to get back up to 2 just because it is still a new item, and it's not something that's necessarily asked about a ton, but I have been asked about it, so I just wanted to have 2 in case. Like, I'm still uncertain how well it will actually sell. So I'm gonna show you guys all of these mini ones, and I just want to say, so we can get this out of the way, the next bit of patterns, the elephants, tigers, triceratops, and these panda are all from the same pattern. I think I get asked this question almost every video. They're all from the No Sew Fluff Balls from Haru Crochets. I want to say it was like $30 something to get the pattern. It has a lot of variety, but I do get this question like every single video. So for the next bit of patterns, they're all from the same thing. So let's get started with the first one. So I ended up making about 5 of these little pandas, and this is just a restock. I had basically given all my pandas to the store, so I just wanted to remake them all. So I just went with 5. They're not the biggest seller. I'll sell 1 or 2 occasionally, but I do get asked about pandas a good deal enough to make sure that I do have some type of pattern for them. So I just made these 5 opposed to the normal 6. I have 3 of these tigers. I think in total I'll have 4 because I have 1 still in my box. So I'll probably make like 2 more. I mean, they seem to be pretty popular in stores more than the markets. I have to restock them kind of regularly in some stores. I think primarily because when they are in stores, they tend to put them like next to all the college football stuff. So it does sell better in stores, I think. But I do have these 3, so that'll put me at 4 together, and I'll probably plan on crocheting 2 more unless something sells. Here are some of the triceratop colors that I've already done. I still have, I think, 2 more colors I want to do, which is going to be the dark green and the orange, but I just went ahead and did these ones first. So the first colorway I have is just a lavender, and I think I did this color at the last market and I sold the one that I had, but it's just like a good standard color. I don't try and do anything too crazy with these triceratops. I just kind of go through like 5 colors and call it a day. And I do tend to do colors that are not necessarily super popular with like my other ones. I think for my particular table setup and the vibe and the thing that brings people in is just how cute everything is, and I get lots of compliments on all the colors that I do. So I do try and have a lot of variety. I think because of the brand of yarn that I work with, and potentially, if you guys have not been following along, possibly my own brand of yarn where I'll be creating my own colorways and everything. Because of that, I don't go for a lot of mute tones. There's some people who use a lot of beiges, browns, mute colors because they might be using more of like a burlap blanket yarn. I find that typically that's what I see. I'm not really that type of crochet person. I really like colors. I really like pastels, which is very funny because I'm pretty much always in black. My table setup does have a lot of like pastels and a lot of colors, just vibrant colors. So for these triceratops, I tend to focus more on the colors that I don't typically use. So base colors being like just purple, light blue, yellow, dark green, and orange. Like I don't really use orange, dark green. So I try and take advantage of that with these triceratops. So I do have 2 in light blue, and then I have 2 in yellow, and like I said, I'm going to make orange and then the green at some point in time. This is the last pattern that's going to be from that Haru's fluff ball pattern. I have my elephants. So I made 6 of them. They're all basically, you know, the same color, except I did make one in more of this ash gray. These are the 2 colors that I'll do for elephants. Honestly, I'm not really like particular on each one. It's the same with possums. Usually it just comes down to what skein I have open, what yarn's close to me. So I basically used this color up completely until I had none left to use, and then I just switched over to this lighter gray. I don't think it makes a difference. I've never seen it make a difference. Same thing with possums. I don't find that one sells better than the other because they're still gray. One is just darker than the other, but most people that doesn't really make a big deal. But I do have 6 of these little elephants right here. I have 3 baby flamingos, and I think these are just the 3 that I have in stock. I ended up making like 6, and then 3 of them went off to a store. So these are the 3 that I still have, and we'll see how long they last. This is another item that I just don't even think I've sold one at like a market, and they sell really well at one of the stores I'm at. Like they can't keep them in stock. I don't know what that's about, but I did just go ahead and make like a little bit larger quantity, given the fact that I know that they sell well at that store, and since I do have time before this market, I didn't want to like completely have to like keep making them every week. So I at least have 3 in my back stock ready to go. I have 1 purple penguin, and this is essentially just getting back up to my normal 2 on the color variations for penguins. I think I just have to make 2 normal penguins, and then I will be completed with penguins for now, but I do just have this purple one. And then the last thing I have is one of these small little fuzzy bees. Now I do know I have, I believe, 3 or 4 of these bees downstairs, and I just got the shipment in for the yarn to remake them. So I'm gonna make a couple more. I'm not 100% certain how many more I'm gonna make. I feel like hitting like 8 or 10 would be good. I don't have these at stores just because this yarn is much more expensive. It's so small that given the fact that I've already had to deal with theft at stores, I do get worried about something this small being grabbed, versus when I do these guys at markets, I keep them up front close to me so I can keep an eye on them. So that is basically everything that I have finished to show you guys. Of course, like I said, there's still probably, if I had to guess, like 10 or 15 items that I have made that just have not been like completely finished off, but I wanted to get this video recorded because my box is overflowing. But that's pretty much everything that I kind of have together. My next market that I'm planning to be at is October 5th, and it is, I think, Crabapple Fest, so it is in Alpharetta. It is 10 to 5, and I'm just going through the last little bit of like business stuff to have all of the permitting because I've never had to do a market that requires so much permits. And so I'm almost completed with it. I'm going tomorrow to drop off the last bit of paper to get approved. And so as long as that goes through, I will be at that market. And that's going to be my second to last market of the year. And then my last market will be in November. And then, of course, moving on to next year, my market schedule will drastically decrease. So if you guys are ever interested in potentially just like seeing me, saying hi, you know, all the good stuff. And if you're local, feel free to come out. I am pretty talkative for the most part at markets, and I'm always appreciative when people come up and talk to me. But besides that, I think that's pretty much everything I have for you guys. So I'll end this video here, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week. Bye bye!